What problem is often overlooked in apocalyptic movies/TV shows that could kill you? Parasites. Not xenomorphs, but tapeworms, ringworms, etc. There are a lot of diseases that used to be endemic before modern sanitation wiped them out. Diarrhea. So many things can cause it, and it used to be, well, still is in the least developed countries, quite lethal, mostly for babies and children. Everyone with a major health issue, if they survive the apocalyptic start, they won't see the finish. Take me for instance, I'm a transplant patient, kidney transplant. Without meds I would be dead within 3 to 5 days due to massive infection. Same with diabetics not having insulin, asthmatics not having inhalers, and other kind of disease and genetic issues. Considering how I had to take my fiancée to the ER this morning because of what should have been a minor UTI that traveled to her kidneys. Snoring, 100%. I think about this all the time. Anyone who snores after the zombies come must be exiled. But most will die quickly. I feel like Stephen King addressed this a bit in the expanded version of The Stand. People who survived the plague, like 0.001% of the people on Earth, but managed to die because of an infection, or suicide, or getting too drunk and falling into the pool. I think it would be the little, random things that might be cause for an ER/urgent care visit currently, but could turn potentially deadly very quickly. Minor injuries, lack of hygiene. Sepsis. They never talk about optometry. What am I going to do if my glasses break in the apocalypse? I'm fucked. I can't see shit without these. They won't last me forever. Clean drinking water. I don't think people really appreciate how much water is needed for a group of people to survive. Those of us with shitty eyesight. Contacts only last so long. If your glasses break, you're fucked. Any infection, any chronic disease, food poisoning, allergies, basically all those things that healthcare provide that we take for granted. There is a distinct lack of worry about clean water. Also, in almost every conflict in history, disease has killed more people than the actual war. You rarely see a flu wipe out half of the people in a zombie movie, but honestly, it would. As someone who had a severe hemorrhage, appendicitis, a severe infection and an emergency wisdom tooth extraction in the last 11 months alone, I'd be dead within days. Edit, I also caught COVID whilst in the hospital and ended up admitted to the COVID ward. This one particularly stung as it meant absolutely zero visitors and I'd just had a baby that I was still breastfeeding and I couldn't get to her for a week. She was a trooper though, as was Daddy. I guess the giving birth would have been the thing that got me in the scenario. As bad as the show Revolution's overall plotting and pacing was, they generally did a good job of thinking about these kinds of little inconsistencies. Asterisk, there's a minor character who was a doomsday prepper before the apocalypse, but he didn't stock up enough on antibiotics. As a result, his daughter died of tetanus that he was unable to treat. Asterisk, a warlord kidnaps prisoners for blood because his wife has diabetes and needs constant transfusions of blood with sufficient insulin in it to survive. Asterisk, there's a doctor who keeps a collection of moldy fruit to harvest penicillium mold from it and make penicillin. Asterisk, some characters try to go into an old subway tunnel, but nearly die because of lack of sufficient airflow down there without modern HVAC systems. Having just sprained an ankle, I'm guessing sprained ankles. Everyone always seems to know where to go. If it were me, I'd die because I can't find my way back to base or something. I don't know if it could kill you, but the stench of death is horrendous and not an insignificant thing. In any disaster situation where someone has died and it starts becoming days long, things would be getting nasty. Over time people would get used to how foul everything would smell, but for a while it would be terrible. Natural disasters. You'd have no fucking clue if a hurricane, flash flood, typhoon, monsoon, or other tornado events were coming. Lack of dental care. A dental infection can take you out right quick. And without treatment that hurts. Typhus or cholera. These two diseases can run roughshod over a population group in days. Also rampant mosquito overpopulation because nobody is spaying to keep them in check. More people die from mosquitoes each year than anything else. There is a laundry list of all the diseases mosquitoes can transmit. Toothache. Slow. Painful. Agonizing. Death. Diarrhea. Edit, returned Peace Corps volunteer, I've ass vomited more than you weigh, and without a shred of toilet paper. Footwear. Wrong footwear, damaged footwear, lack of socks, wet feet, open wounds. Once your feet are screwed, so is the rest of you. Lack of glasses/contacts. If my glasses broke, I would be a goner. Gasoline has a shorter shelf life than is portrayed in these movies/TV shows, so after a year nobody would really be driving anywhere. It wouldn't necessarily kill you, but it's one of those things that bothers me because it's never really addressed. Everyone driving around like gas wouldn't be the first thing to go. Childbirth. Already one of the most dangerous things a person can do, carrying a child to full term and giving birth without proper medical care for either the mother or the baby, well. All you gotta do is look at your history books. Or your average developing country, most of which still have better medical care than you're getting in The Walking Dead. And now the mother has to push her insides back in and run from some zombies. Done for. Dust from destroyed buildings. Just watched the 2 latest Godzilla movies, and aside from all the other things that could have killed folks, staring at monsters that are destroying buildings and kicking up all sorts of dust and other air debris, while staring open-mouthed, is a great way to get lung damage/encounter breathing issues. Gasoline turns to goop after only a couple of years, I believe. The inability to move place to place for resources will be a problem. And most people don't know how to handle a horse. Suicide. The apocalypse isn't going to be a bunch of badass people with knives and mohawks, it's going to suck, a lot. Suddenly people are thrust into the elements with no skills, various medical conditions, the environment will be rough, there's no creature comforts and they'll have to depend on small pockets of other people for help. Dental hygiene, nutritional deficiencies, long-term radiation poisoning, in nuclear fallout post-apocalypses. Last Man on Earth tackles this in a few episodes, hilarious and ridiculous show BTW. Guy dies from a burst appendix, gasoline goes bad after couple of years, all the nuclear fallout from reactors not being managed, one girl almost died because she got stuck in an elevator and no one could hear her. Also, the suicidal depression from lack of human contact. No one would have any medication. Suddenly people would be dying of treatable conditions. Like a simple cut that becomes infected. I don't know how this hasn't been mentioned yet, but it's common sense that is almost always overlooked in movies and TV. Humans are way more physically fragile and squishy than you might think. Based on John McClane and other invincible action heroes, who take damage and do things that would break or catastrophically cripple a normal person, movies are a poor source of information for deciding what to do and what could happen to your body, should you somehow falsely think you're the main protagonist of an apocalypse movie. Indoor firefight without hearing protection? You're probably deaf now. Jumping off a building to catch a wire? Kiss your fingers and slash or lower extremities goodbye, assuming you land on your feet. Taking a beer bottle to the head? That's probably a concussion. Movies have made us think we're a lot more durable than we really are. Getting scraped up and not cleaning your wounds. I think the most depressing movie ever, The Road, did an excellent job with a more realistic version of an apocalyptic situation. Movies usually don't get to me, but that one did, and I can't watch it twice. The overwhelming bleakness of it combined with the realness of it depressed me. Disease. Fatigue caused by exposure. Among countless other things, maybe this one is kinda obvious, the urgent and stressful need to be, and remain, a ghost. You have to not exist. You can't be strolling down a desolate highway or lighting a campfire. Or shooting wildlife. You can't ever relax. And if you do sleep, don't snore. Noise, light, and interdiscipline. The raiders out there, whether they want your gear or flesh, will be hunting for survivors. And if they don't detect you, their dogs will. Dogs. We hardly ever see packs of dogs roaming around on these shows, but it's very possible. You could have feral packs running around competing with humans for food. Pests. Vermin. Parasites. Mold. Plant overgrowth. We let our garden run wild for a couple of months and plants have invaded several areas. In an apocalypse it would get much worse. Might not kill you, but it could be a real nuisance.